All right, so I've been finishing up the end of the year, just trying to circle back around, catch anything I might have missed. Looking at lists, people are starting to release their best of, their worst of. I saw the worst of 2025 lists I've ever seen, or like worst end year list I've ever seen in my life. There's like 3 films in that 10 that I thought were genuinely great films, and I was like, what is film criticism now? Anyway, one of those was Life of Chuck as the #1 worst film of 2025. Unbelievable. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking through some lists and I came across a film that I thought was a movie that I watched last year because the titles look so like similar. This is Dies Ira, I think is how you say it. And yeah, there was a movie we watched last year that had a very similar title, and I passed over it a few times because I was like, oh, I already saw that. And then when I looked at it, I was like, actually, I think there's a different title. And yeah, this is an Indian film about a young Indian man who finds out that a girl that he used to go to school with has passed away. And so he goes to pay his respects. When he gets there, he ends up taking something with him, and unfortunately, this seems to bring something along with him home. Yeah, I mean, okay, I will say this. The movie definitely has some pacing issues. It drags a bit. It's longer, as one would expect. It actually has one of the more brutal, like, scenes. There's a scene where a guy falls off a balcony, and you kind of get to see it all the way down, and it's pretty gnarly. That was actually a really cool scene. There's also some other visual stuff in here that's quite good, and there's like a dead body in a bed that looks really cool, stuff like that. So there's some visual stuff. The performances are good. It's just pretty tropey, and that can be fine. It was watchable. I liked it. It's not one that I would like rush to. It definitely wouldn't be on a year-end list for me or anything, but it was all right. It was good. It was good. That's about where I'm at on it. The opening, I will say this: the first, like, I don't know, 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at most. There is a really good atmosphere to this when we meet kind of like our exorcist or that kind of character. He's honestly one of the more useless like exorcist type guys that you have in one of these movies, right? Like the guy has the curse or whatever, and then he goes and he consults some expert, and that expert comes in and helps him. This guy is very restrained, doesn't really help a ton. And I don't know, he doesn't really do a whole ton in my opinion. He is there, so it's not like he's completely useless or anything, but maybe this was a better version of that guy, because I don't really care for that character much, the know-it-all that explains everything. So maybe it sounds like I'm knocking it, but I guess maybe this is a more realistic look at it. Guy's kind of just guessing and doesn't really fully know and is just trying to help, and that's cool. Usually in these movies, it's like, do this, and it's exactly for sure that thing, and here's the history of it, and blah, blah, blah. This guy's more of just, like, kind of investigating it with him, and it's like, I don't really fucking know. And is wrong about stuff. So I dug that. And yeah, there's some cool, creepy-ish scenes, but it just drags a bit. And that's pretty much it. But as I said, the opening atmosphere of the film was really cool, and actually was reminiscent of The Ring, the American version, the Gore Verbinski one. There's a scene in particular that felt ripped straight out of The Ring. This was definitely inspired by The Ring. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. Just those scenes alone, at least. I will say that in the end, there's like a reveal of something that's happening in the last like 20 minutes or something, or so, and I was kind of like confused. I was like, am I supposed to know who this person is? Like, is this supposed to be a reveal that's like a oh shit moment? Because it sure as hell didn't work for me, and I was kind of confused, and then I just rolled with it. And also, come on, man, like the final showdown between like our main character and another villainous character, I was not buying it at all. This is definitely a movie thing where an opponent is completely outmatched physically, and I'm sitting there like, really, you can't defeat this thing? Come on, or this person? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You should be able to easily, you know, beat this person. So that was pretty silly to me. There was also some moments in the end where you're kind of like screaming at the screen, like, do this faster, do this now, do this specifically. Why are you doing this? So there's definitely some annoyances with that stuff, and it doesn't really need to be there. You can write this better so that the audience isn't screaming at the screen. I know that maybe some people think that's what horror movies are supposed to be, like people making stupid decisions or that irritate you and make you like really involved because you're yelling at the screen. No. So yeah, I mean, if you're into Indian horror, also supposedly this is somewhat connected to the other film this studio put out. There's like a tease of that in the end, but I don't know anything about that film, so I don't know if it's like connected in some way. They're trying to do some Conjuring universe type of thing here with all the connections or whatnot, but I had seen something about that, and I was like, oh, because they make mention of something, and I was like, I don't know what that means. And then I looked it up, and they were like, oh, this is like a connection to another film, and I was like, oh, okay, there you go. I have no idea. So, yeah. It is available right now on Hulu, but not Hulu through Disney Plus. So if you have Hulu through Disney Plus, you won't have it. You actually have to have the Hulu app and pay for Hulu. Thankfully, my buddy has Hulu and gave me his password so that I could watch this, because I went on my Hulu on my Disney Plus and it was like nothing. So then I went on his and there it was. So yeah. Much like, like Shudder on Prime and stuff like that. There's stuff that's on Prime, on Shudder Prime, that isn't on Shudder, and vice versa. It's very annoying. So, yeah, if you're looking for it, that's where you can find it. If you're into Indian horror and this sounds anywhat up your alley, check it out. Let me know. One quick addition here that I wanted to mention, just because it was something I wanted to say when I was making this review and totally forgot, and then I was like, wait, hold on, I want to just add this really quick. I thought it was really funny during this film that every time someone was smoking, they would put tobacco kills across the screen the entire time they were smoking. I don't know if that's a requirement in India for them to do that or not. If you see shadows, that's not a ghost. That's my wife. Okay, she's walking in front of the lighting here saying hi with her shadow. But I just thought that was really funny. And they put it at the beginning of the movie. They were like, tobacco, blah, 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 right? But like literally every single time there was anybody smoking anywhere in the shot, background didn't matter. It would immediately pop up in the corner and be like, tobacco kills the whole time. Never seen it before. So I had to add that. That's that. Sorry. Adios.